I'm Nikki, and this is Flying in English, but the fee of the ticket is the double of Japan's. That's something one of my students said. Do you think you can figure out the more natural, correct way to say this? Obviously, this one's one of the easier ones because the problem is very obvious. There's a lot of grammatical issues, so we can fix that real quick in the first correction. So if you haven't seen any videos like this before, I give you 3 versions of the corrections and you guys have to try and make corrections along with me. I want you guys to try to make a correction before you see my correction. I want you to try and attempt to fix this yourself. This will improve your English if you can try and do it, okay? So our level 1 correction is just grammatical corrections, and the simplest change we can make to make it just reaching the level of natural, okay? So let's see your correction first. Leave your comment with L1 correction and leave your sentence. Let's see it. All right. Now let's see my correction. So my first change is, but the fee of the ticket is double that of Japan's. So I did 2 things here. I took out the before double. We wouldn't say the double. And I put that of Japan's. So that is a pronoun referring back earlier in the sentence to the ticket fee. Okay, so we have to relate back to what we're talking about in the sentence for the sentence to be grammatically correct. So this is the easiest fix to just make the sentence acceptable and just on the cusp of natural. All right, are you ready for the level 2 fix? Level 2 fix, we're gonna make it more natural, more acceptable, and more commonly heard, right? So something you would actually hear people say out there. But we don't want to make too many changes to the sentence because we might lose the original meaning, right? So I try to be a little more conservative with my changes in this one. Now, this one's a little funny because the change I'm going to make it more natural is also going to kind of take away the grammatical correctness a little bit. So you'll see once you see the sentence. But first, I want you to put your sentence in the comment. How do you think you can make this more natural? Something you might actually hear someone say out there on the streets of America. Leave your comment below. All right, I think you're ready to hear mine. My sentence is, but the ticket fee is double Japan's one or fee. So for the most part, I might just say it's double Japan's. Especially if I'm just speaking fast, I don't have to say anything after that, but I might say double Japan's fee or double Japan's one. Those might make it a little bit more clear, a little bit more acceptable to your little heart. Because technically we need that of Japan's. That's the grammatically correct way. But in spoken English, a lot of times we don't say that. We just say, it's double Japan's. It's double Japan's. The other change I think you may have noticed is that I didn't say fee of the ticket. That's a little bit awkward, a little bit long and annoying. We don't really like to say that. We will say the ticket fee. The ticket fee. Okay, now you see level 2's change. Are you ready for level 3's change? Level 3, where I'm going to make it how I would say it in this situation. So I might change the sentence completely. And actually, this change is actually making the sentence slightly longer, but it just feels a lot more natural for me. So first of all, I want to see what you think you would say in this situation. How would you say this if someone is like saying, let's go to this country, let's not go to Japan. And they're like, but wait, the ticket is more expensive. How would you actually say that? Leave your comment. Let me see it. Don't cheat. Leave your comment first. Okay, here's my level 3 version of this correction. But that ticket fee is like double the one for Japan. So I changed quite a few things in the sentence at this point. It's still pretty similar to the original, so it's still closer to the meaning. But I added that instead of the ticket. Now, the reason I do this, and you might see this kind of change in the future a lot, is we like to refer back to the previous topic with a that to kind of continue the context of the sentence. You don't have to make this change, but it's what I would say in this situation. That ticket fee, referring to what we were talking about previously. And I always like to drop that little like. I know a lot of people actually feel uncomfortable saying like all the time. And if you're in formal situations, if you're trying to go into like business and you're trying to be like better with your speech, obviously you want to kind of get rid of the like too much. You don't want to use like too much. But in normal everyday speech, like is totally acceptable and actually makes you sound a lot more natural. So I would slip a little like into the sentence. And the other change I made is double the 1-4. So instead of saying Japan's with the apostrophe S, which is just a little hard to say when you're speaking quickly, and you might end up speaking grammatically incorrect, which is even unacceptable to yourself, I would just stick more words in front to replace the apostrophe S and say the 1-4, Japan. Okay, so that's how I would make this change. How did you do it? I want to see your comment. Make sure you leave it below. Let me know. And if you're interested in learning English with me, I am an English teacher on italki. You can join italki and sign up for classes with me. If you're interested, the link will be in the description and in the pinned comment. But anyways, that's it for now. Keep flying higher and I'll see you in the skies. Bye.